Hi, thanks for joining me. We are back to play some more Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm addicted to the Crown Store because I love cosmetic things, and I just wanted to show you guys this. Okay, so these are two new items that just have dropped. Look, okay, so from the front, it's not so bad. You're like, oh, okay, it's all right. Look from the back. Look at all four of these hang down. What the yuck? He's judging me in the back, I know. Why do girls never get anything cute? Not completely true. They did that bad, but this was the. I think we'll go ahead and go to Cold Harbor and do that for a little bit. And then from there we will head over, work on our companionship quest. I think that is what I decided. So I want to go do the companionship quest and get that done. Because there's another companion here. I don't know what the right answer is.
Good find, cohort.
You guys haven't had a chance to answer me because the video is not up on YouTube. So you can't give me the advice. I need to arrange transport.
Are you then? Tag along in my skiff if you'd like. Though I suppose it depends where you want to go.
Oh, I actually... Alright, Okay, I died, but there was, let's see, Soul Shriven in Cold Harbor. I died, but that was only the beginning. I awoke in oblivion. My body is intact, but my soul has been torn from my body. I must find a way out of this nightmare place to reclaim what was lost to me, or I'll be damned for all eternity. The hooded figure said the unnamed benefactor needed to speak to me on Devon's watch. Okay, so that's where we gotta go.
Aye?
Keep your eyes open for a good tea shop. Always happy to try a new blend.
A hooded figure. Wait. Yep.
I'm quite busy, can't you see?
We'll move. Important thing is we read it. Focus first on meeting our hooded benefactor. Their quest.
I wish I was up adventuring.
I spent a lot of time in this area. I barely remember it. Shame. Hello. What the? Xander. Xander. Standing there just quietly as you please while I got smacked on the back of my head. We'll pretend you got smacked too. That was my soul, sir. I want that back. The Wailing Prison. Tamriel is gone, and you are going someplace else. Someplace far from the world. Find a way to escape Cold Harbor.
Whoa there. Are you all right? The name's Lyris.
Lyris.
I hope you've still got some fight left in you. You're going to need it.
Thank you, Lyris.
Dead. Must have been the runt of the litter. Keep your weapon ready and stay sharp. This place is full of surprises.
Yeah.
Keep moving. There are more Daedra on the way.
Who are you? It's a stupid question, but to my viewers, who are you?
Don't stop now. Keep moving. More guards are on the way.
Let's get out of here, my friend.
Resolution.
It is a bit immersion breaking that he's here.
Greetings, Vestige. Like you, I am a prisoner in this place. You must rescue me, and I, in turn, must rescue you.
Hold a moment. Come here. We need to talk.
Oh, I remember. That sent him away. It was really...
The Prophet. He's a prisoner here too. It was very dangerous for him to speak to you even for a moment. You must think you can help me.
Help you do what?
Break him out, of course. Believe me, I can use all the help I can get. That blind old man is the only person alive who can help us get back home. Tamriel's a long way from here.
Oh.
The Prophet. Break him out, of course. Believe me, I can use all the help I can get. That blind old man is the only person alive who can help us get back home. Tamriel's a long way from here.
Where do we go from here?
These tunnels will eventually take us to the Towers of Eyes. That's where we'll find the Sentinels.
What are the Sentinels?
Magical constructs created by Molag Bal to guide his vision in Cold Harbor. The Sentinels are connected. If we destroy one, the others will be blinded. With any luck, that will buy us the time we need to free the Prophet.
How can we destroy it?
I've no idea. Brute force? We'll find a way. We have to. Be ready for anything. I doubt Molag Bal left the Sentinels unguarded.
Yeah, so many
I'm
questions.
sure you do. And I'll answer them as best I can.
Who is this prophet?
He's a strange one, no doubt about it. But he's the wisest man I've ever met. He sees things. The past, the future.
What is this place? Where am I?
You're obviously not in Tamriel anymore. Think of the most miserable, depressing place you've ever been in your life. That's paradise compared to Cold Harbor. And to top it off, well, there's no easy way to say it. You're dead.
How are we having this conversation?
I don't know. Once we rescue the Prophet, he can tell you about the gods and the ways of oblivion. I don't understand any of it myself.
If I'm dead, who killed me?
A man named Menemarco. His worm cult is doing some kind of ritual back in Tamriel. They sacrificed you and everyone in this prison to the Daedric Prince Molag Bal. After you died, whatever was left showed up here. They call you the Soul Shriven.
What does that mean?
It means you're a slave and you'll spend the rest of eternity here in Cold Harbor, working under the lash of the Daedra. Unless, of course, you come with me.
Are you dead too?
No, I wasn't sacrificed. The Prophet and I were brought here conventionally, if that makes any sense. But we're prisoners here, same as you.
How can we rescue the Prophet?
It won't be easy. The place is watched by magical constructs called Sentinels. We won't stand a chance unless we can blind them. I'll tell you more when we get there. And we'll never get there if we don't get moving. We should keep moving.
Oh, that was a bit bloody. Oh, that's what's going on. I was wondering why I wasn't fighting. I had my healing on.
Well played, friend. Arcase Beard, you are good in a fight.
The god of brutality knows of your escape. Hurry.
Trying to look out the window, so to speak.
The god of schemes can see every part of Cold Harbor. We need to distract him.
Oh, those guys are bound tight, aren't they?
What was your name again? Target practice? Try to be inconspicuous. We just got free of this place. The last thing we need is to get recaptured.
I'm not gonna follow that very well, though. Destroy.
Quickly! While he's blinded, we must get to the Prophet's cell.
Alright. Oh, not that way.
Fool! You will never escape my realm.
Hermamora's wagging tongue. The door's warded. We'll never get in this way. Damn it! Destroying the Sentinel must have triggered these wards. We'll need to find another way in. Maybe Cadwell can help us.
Who's Cadwell?
Cadwell is the oldest of the Soul Shriven. After years of torment, Soul Shriven usually go insane and turn feral. But not Cadwell. He was already insane before he left Tamriel. Mad as a box of frogs, but completely harmless. You'll see.
How could a madman possibly help us?
Cadwell sees things as he wishes them to be. To him, Cold Harbor is a wondrous place. It's his home. And he knows it like the back of his hand. He's usually down by the river. Let's go find him.
Cadwell. Cadwell's my favorite. I love Cadwell. You'll see why.
One fine day in the middle of the night, two dead kings got up to fight. Back to back they faced each other, drew their bows, and stabbed themselves. Hello, what's this? Out for a stroll then? Lovely day for it.
You must be Cadwell.
Sir Cadwell, yes indeed, a pleasure. And fair Lyris, good to see you, my dear. How are you then?
We're trying to get inside the prophet cell. The door is sealed.
Oh dear. Well, that is inconvenient, isn't it? Tell you what, I happen to know another way in. Much more of a scenic route. Rather a fun little jaunt, actually, full of traps and corpses and nasty beasties filling up the bits in between.
How do we get through all that?
Rather cautiously, I expect. Watch your step, hold your nose, and do mind the traps. There'll like as not be a fair dose of running and skull bashing as well.
Fun, where's the entrance?
Follow the river. You'll find the door to the Undercroft at the water's end. Once you're inside, stick to the light, and you'll find a ladder that will take you right up to the prophet straight away. Do give him my best.
Thanks.
Best of luck. Do check in now and again, won't you?
Before we go, tell me a bit about yourself, Sir Cadwell.
Well, there's not much to tell, is there? It's the same old pish-tosh, gallant knight, epic quests, rescued maidens. I came to this land when my head was quite unceremoniously separated from my body. Bad luck, that, but you make the best of things.
I actually just realized, now that he said that, I could have sworn my earlier gameplay that he actually had a noticeable mark around his neck where his head had been separated and then loosely set back on. But maybe I'm imagining that. I don't know. How long have you been here?
Oh, quite a long time. In fact, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if I was the oldest of the soul shriven, of those who didn't go feral, that is. I know every tunnel and path, every nook and cranny. The others look up to me, I suppose.
How do you know Lyris?
Ah, Lyris. Girl's as mad as sheer Gorus jammies. Heart's in the right place, I suppose. Says she's got to rescue the prophet to save us all from eternal torment. How an old blind man could do that is quite beyond me.
What do you know about the prophet?
An imperial gentleman. Apparently he was once a powerful mage, but the years haven't been kind. Lyris says he knows of a path back to Tamriel. I rather think that if one existed, I'd have found it by now.
You don't think there's a way to get home?
I hadn't actually given it much thought. Anything's possible, I suppose. Truth is, I've been here so long, this place feels like home. But a good uprising now and again is a pleasant diversion, so where's the harm, eh?
Okay,
Cadwell seems to think this Undercroft is a delightful place. Probably means it's a death trap. We better be careful.
probably. But I also gotta steal the stuffs. She had places to go, didn't she?
The sooner you get that door open, the sooner we can get out of here.
He couldn't hold the door for me?
Come get some more, you thieving hawkers!
Oh, someone got to before and left the hide. Yes.
The Prophet's cage should be just ahead. Quickly now, we haven't much time. Alright. The good news is we made it here in one piece, and the Prophet looks unharmed. Now the bad news. It's going to be up to you to keep him safe and get him back to Tamriel. I'm not going with you. There's a trick to opening the cell. The only way for a prisoner to leave is for another living soul to take their place. I need to swap places with the Prophet.
There's no other way?
Believe me, I wish there was, but I don't see anyone else here with a beating heart, do you? If Molag Bal isn't stopped, he'll destroy everyone and everything we've ever loved.
Hey, I'm ready when you are.
Once it's done, get moving. The Prophet will know where to go, but he'll need your eyes and your protection.
Okay. Sorry, Lyris.
Freedom! I remember this feeling. It will be fleeting, though, if Molag Bal has his way. Thank the divines you are safe. There is that at least. Lyris sacrificed everything that we might go free. Her sacrifice must not be in vain.
Can we find a way to take her with us?
I wish that were possible, but I promise you, once we escape Cold Harbor, we will find a way to rescue her together, Vestige.
Vestige?
That is the name I have given you. You are but a trace of your former self, a soulless one, an empty vessel that longs to be filled. It is, as the scrolls foretold, but not exactly as I imagined.
Why does Lyris call you the Prophet?
That is what I've come to be called. My true name is lost even to me. Years of torment have taken their toll. Quickly now, we must make haste to the anchor.
Anchor?
The anchors are Daedric machines of the darkest magic. Their chains bind our world and pull it towards Cold Harbor. I can use one of these anchors to return us to Tamriel, but you must lead me to it.
Alright, well, stay close then.
Up the stairs, quickly! We must get to the anchor mooring.
Going. Okay.
There it is! The dark anchor mooring.
The mortal thinks it can defy me. Futile. Soon your world will be in my chains.
Come, I will protect you. Dark Anchor's portal is high above us. I will prepare a spell to lift us to it. But first, you must reattune yourself to Nirn in order to regain your physical form. To do this, you will need a Sky Shard.
Sky Shard?
A shard of ethereal magicka that carries the essence of Nirn. Some link them to Lorcan, the missing god of creation. If you collect and absorb its power, It should restore your corporeal form. I will summon one of these shards for you to absorb.
I'm ready. Not the first time we've touched a sky shard. Goof.
Shard of Aetherius, fall upon us now and anoint us with your blessing. There, quickly, collect the sky shard. Great Akatosh, dragon god of time, I require your strength. Let the way be opened. Let these wandering souls return home. Let the will of Moloch Baal be denied. Hurry! We must go now!
Talk to him in 1 second. Grandmaster,
Message awakens once again. Come here. We must speak.
your invitation is kind and the promise of coin is appealing. The village could use it. Still, I must refuse your offer of membership in the Fighters Guild. Bleak Rock is where I was born. Shore willing, it's where I will die. My bow and blade belong to this tiny island. Kind speed you on your mission against the Daedra. Alright, what's up?
As I feared, we arrived in different locations. I am in a place with the smell of burning ash on a hot wind, and the sounds of a distant battle. It matters not. You have awakened once again, and we must set you on your path.
How long was I unconscious?
Days, weeks, I cannot tell. The voids between worlds disrupted all sense of time and space. I know only that you were deposited into the sea, and some charitable soul fished you out and brought you to dry land.
What should I do now?
I'm afraid you will have to decide that for yourself. I must focus on searching for a way to repay Lyris's bold sacrifice. I cannot simply abandon her to the wrath of Moloch Baal.
When will I see you again?
I cannot foresee that, not yet. But we will meet again. There is still much we need to accomplish. Be wary, Vestige. Our very plane of existence is in peril. The threat of Moloch Baal looms across all Tamriel, and chaos spreads in its shadow. Danger roams the land and will assume many forms. Do not let it catch you off guard.
Where should I go?
You must find your own path. But perhaps there is a reason for the place in which you find yourself. Explore, search for a cause to lend your hand. Join with others. You might even seek out those who rescued you from the sea. The choice is yours.
You think there are many who need my help?
Indeed. I sense that even now, there are good people near you who face grave danger. They need your assistance, should you be willing to give it. To thwart the will of Moloch Baal, we must skirmish with evil wherever it rears its head.
And there are others who would join me on this?
We do not face these troubled times alone. Many shall rise up to fight this tide of darkness. Wherever you go, you will encounter others who share your courage and valor. Help them if you can, and enlist their aid if you have need of it.
Bye. Matha's journal. Saw a strange light out over the water last night. I seen the auroras do some strange things, but never anything quite like this. Corpses washed up on shore. They were dressed strangely, as if they were from far-off lands. I have no idea where they came from. Telvanni said to send them on to Sovngarde with honors, so we did. Holsgar found someone on the shore, shivering in the cold, but not wet, just damp where they were laying in the snow. Would have died without care. He dragged the body back to town and stuck in one of the spare beds. Hopefully, the poor soul will survive the night. Guess they're talking about us. Hey.
I'm short on good help, and I could use someone capable. Someone like you.
How did I get here?
A fisherman found you washed up on the beach. He brought you back to town. It's a miracle you survived.
So, what now?
You're the one Holsgar pulled out of the water. I'm glad you're up. I could use your help.
You wanted to speak with me?
You've seen combat, and I need all the help I can get today. Villagers are scattered across the island. We need to warn them.
Warn them? Why?
We sighted a ship offshore. I've sent my troops to investigate. If it's the vanguard of an invasion, well, we'll need to evacuate.
Where should I start looking?
You'll find the people of Bleak Rock all across the island. Darj, the hunter, went to Skyshroud Barrow. Iman's out at Orky's Hollow with his sister Rolanda. Sane, my sergeant, is out at Hossen's Folly.
What is Skyshroud Barrow?
It's an old dragon shrine. It's a relic of the Dragon Wars. Some of the villagers claim they saw undead out there. I sent Darj out to get proof.
Can you tell me about Orky's Hollow?
Locals claim it's haunted. They dare each other to spend a night inside. It's a silly custom, but a harmless one.
Hossen's Folly? What's that?
It's an abandoned mine. A family came out from Stone Falls to work the place. Rumor has it, they're Daedra worshippers. Now some bandits are hunting through the place, and we need to know why.
I'll start at Hossen's Folly.
Thank you, friend. Once you've dealt with the bandits and sent Sane back here, see who else you can find.
Can I ask you a few questions?
I'll answer what I can. Captain Tilronni's got the villagers thinking I'm an addled netch, but I'm actually a bit smarter than that.
How did you end up here?
Posted to this backwater, you mean? I made a hasty decision. A bad call. Soldiers died. I learned my lesson. Now I don't act without proof.
What does Tilronni have against you?
I took her job. You might have heard her yelling about that in the square. It's petty, but what can I do? Every time I've reached out to her, she's slapped my hand.
No one right. Help myself to any of that. Alright. Where are they? So at this point, there's going to be most of the game is not going to be completely a blind playthrough, but it has been so long that I don't remember it very well. More like, I guess, impressions of the gameplay of what I had played through. So I'm looking forward to it, especially from completely playing it with you guys and actually reading the material. I'm going to be honest, outside of reading the notes when it was just pertinent for like a very specific thing, I didn't really read any of the books or anything. So I am kind of looking forward to reading it with you. And again, as I did in Necrom, I will read what seems important. There's going to be a lot of dry fluff, and anything that's pretty boring to read, I will probably skip past. So if you see me skip past it, just hopefully trusted me that it was a pretty dry read. Ronnie, I'm tired of the excuses. Yesterday, training exercise was shameful. When I was in charge, we never had these problems. I think Rolanda would make a better soldier than some of these milk drinkers. Get them together. The pact is depending on it. Oh, Ronnie. Ronnie's log. I've been exiled. I'm commanding a garrison of stinking Nords, and you can't find this place on a map. If Cinny hadn't come with me, I'd be the only dark elf on the island. She gave up so much to be here, and I can never repay her loyalty. I'm determined not to let this bleak rock break me. Tilronni still acts as if I just got here. My time with the villagers when I was in command of the garrison means nothing to her. I will make her understand. Bleak Rock is my home now, no mistake. The lights in the sky have caused a panic in town. We all know there are powers at work in Nirn. Most of these folk haven't so much as spoken with the mage. How can they understand something like mystical lights in the sky? In the wake of the lights, strange corpses floated ashore. Tilronni instructed some of the men to burn the corpses right there on the beach. I asked her to wait and let me check with Windhelm first. She refused. Damn that woman. I ordered the garrison to be on guard. Something's in the air. Olsgard found someone alive along the beach. He claimed the castaway wasn't wet. How can someone float ashore without getting wet? Snowborn can get stuffed. I'm writing a letter to the headquarters. They need to weigh in on this. Last night I had a dream about our castaway. If Tilronni heard I was having strange dreams, she'd have Dunscar lock me in his barn. In the dream, the newcomer stood in front of me and beckoned me forward. I felt compelled to advance, as if it was important somehow. I don't know what it means, but I need to talk to this newcomer, assuming the poor stranger ever wakes up. Our man on the tower sighted a ship on the horizon. We couldn't make it out in fog. We couldn't make out the flag. Tilronni is furious, says we need to evacuate. That's the kind of thinking that got me here in the first place. I've put Fyrankin in charge of the men and sent them out on the boat. Sini and I will handle the situation here on the island. Whatever happens, we need to proceed carefully. We need a measured response. Captain Ronnie, in light of your actions, I have no choice but to strip you of your command and your rank. Your time at the Pelagod garrison is over. Tomorrow you will appear before a court-martial. They will decide your ultimate fate. May the three have mercy on your wreathing soul. The court will not. Alvine Redarin. Wow, she, like, seriously messed up. Like, not even just a little mess up. Like, really mess up. When I will come a-courtin', all to Shornhelm maids, I'll have a cart all full of silk and ribbons for their braids. And wandered he all through the plains, searching for his bride, but Akatosh has cast him out, in sanction for his pride. One crown to glory bring, but only blood and death to show them. One crown to glory bring, for Rancer's folly died. Did I miss any? I'm doing right there, Mather. Just chill as can be while I do my thing. Father and Nibbin, Fragment 1. Oh, we're getting some classic. Right. Getting our dog back. So technically speaking, I absolutely did play the game out of order by playing Necrom first.
What is it?
Doesn't seem to be that big of a punishment, though, right? Following correctly.
You wish to suffer my wrath?
Oh, stop. Yeah, big boat. Oh, I remember this. This used to be my, or it will probably is, my favorite place to come and do crafting. Loved it. Alchemy for my apprentice. My dear apprentice, you have destroyed far too many of my alchemic stock to go unpunished. My own master would never abide by such incompetence. Can't take instruction, she says. Nose in a book, she'd say. Luckily for your prospects, it is far less costly to write the simple manual than replace yet another cask of rare solvent. If you lose this manual, as I know you will, don't despair. I've invested your annual stipend toward printing multiple copies of this book and distributing them far and wide. In time, every alchemy station in Tamriel shall have one. Step 1. Acquire the solvents. You already know that every potion requires a solvent to serve as the potion's base. If you ever paid attention to my lessons, you know the best solvent is clean water from a natural source. The purity of the water determines the quality of the potion, so the best sources are natural springs. I must once again emphasize the need for fresh sources of water. Remember that incident with the healing drought? You cannot simply dip a flask into a stagnant pond, an ocean cove, or downstream from a tannery. I suppose you could find bottles of clean water about town, but it's best to do the work yourself. Incidentally, your rain barrel solvent will never work. You are to cease your experiments immediately. Acquiring regions. Alchemy is the study of combinations, where solvents are a potion's base, regions are the active ingredients. Each region bears 4 unique traits. I'm disinclined to explain the principles of the quadric amalgamation to you again, but do try to remember the basics. Match like with like. Henceforth, you are to find all regions in the wilds, not in my laboratory. Remember to look for plants and mushrooms. Plants and mushrooms only. Under no circumstances should you deviate from this. Squirrel powder was an abomination against the 8. Furthermore, I must remind you to thoroughly clean both mortar and pestle after their use. Step 3. Craft potions. Bring a solvent in 2 regions to any alchemy station. Different regions are required. In fact, I must stress once again, combining bluegrass with bluegrass gets you nothing but foul-tasting water. When you have what you need, put them together and craft your potions. Regions with positive trait combinations will produce helpful potions, while those with negative trait combinations can cause harm to whoever is foolish enough to imbibe them. If none of your region's traits match, you lose both solvent and regions. Experiment with different regions to see what you can produce. I'll leave it to you to determine their traits, but will remind you that ingesting a region can teach you its most basic trait. Just one, don't gorge yourself. While I recall of it, did you expect I wouldn't know you finished off the Nern root? I could hear your teeth singing. There's no way to hide a glowing chamber pot. Actually, I never thought about it. What goes in must come out. Advanced alchemic principles. Only when you master the basics of alchemy should you think to complicate the process. Though careful study, you can learn to suppress negative traits when crafting potions. Craft multiple potions from this simple set of regions, or even combine additional regions to produce more powerful potions. But for now, not poisoning yourself is the goal I most like for you to achieve. Enchanting made easy. Anyone can become an enchanter. Doesn't matter who you are. Let's see. Or who you were. I spent 20 years pulling fish from the waters of Black Marsh before stumbling into the world of enchanting. As a former Argonian fisher slave can figure it out, so can you. Years ago, I noticed glowing runes when I fished in Black Marsh. At first, I thought they were wisps. You're most likely to find them in dangerous places, so be careful. Look for the angular stones where the runes sit. Red aspects runes remind me of fish. The minnows are plentiful but don't have much flesh on their bones, while the old grandfathers are the rarest but the richest catch. Blue potency runes makes me think of fish's flavor. The good ones can improve your day, while the bad ones are best fed to your enemies. Green essence runes are like the type of fish. Frost fish, armor fish, poison fish, you get the idea. Some people ask why there are runes scattered throughout Tamriel, but that's a question for the Mages Guild. I never ask where fish come from, just where I can find more of them. I should mention, I can't actually see colors. If you're like me and want to look for the brightness of the rune, aspect runes are quite dim, potency runes are bright, and essence runes glow very bright. Right, we're gonna... Contracts and bounties. Contracts and bounties. Fingsnout werewolf murdered 3 women near Mixwater Ford. Check. Backtooth rabid bear killed a skald as he traveled between Windhelm and Eldergleam. Sanctuary. Check. Skin Ripper Troll Father, head of the line of man-eaters near Cragwallow. Check. Deathclaw, giant bat, down 3 herds of sheep near Kinsgrove. No check. Just remembered. Let's get him out.
I'm here and I'm feeling feisty.
I think goofed him. Coming? There we go. Where's something?
A fated arrival.
Woodworking for simpletons. Stop your dilly and dallying, younglings. You're less than a pile of goblin droppings unless you have a trade. I ain't letting my kin stink up the cabin. Today you'll learn how to work with wood. Now step up belly groaning and listen. Woodworking is an honest trade, and you're going to do right by old Hoary. I'll use tiny words so even Tibbins can follow. I'm not eating all of that. I'm so sorry. Small meals, fast meals. Rabbit, very fast but delicious. Stew or braise and sell the ears and tail. Crow, good crunch. Reminds me of a fen hen, seasoned with bamfer. Dog, do not eat in front of allies, nor take offense. Nords take offense, as it's one of their sacred animals. Pet, instead. Cat, delicious. Again, do not eat in front of allies, another sacred animal. Take from the street and make sure to hide the tails. Note, everything but the horns are too tough.
Quality material makes for quality goods.
Aye?
I need to arrange transport.
Are you then? Tag along.
Oh, I want to. Okay. It's almost thick. Hi, lady.
My husband, Galund, went fishing yesterday morning. He never came home. I went looking for him this morning with my dog, and now my dog has wandered off.
You're not having a very good luck today.
No, I'm not. The last place I saw Rex's was near our mill, just north of here. Take this whistle. Use it when you get over there. I'll wait here in case he comes home.
I'll find your dog and your husband if I can. Oh, buddy. Rexus bounces back and forth under your hand. He looks like he wants you to follow. Alright, go on. Important mission, helping the dog get distracted. Oh, sorry, Xander.
Ugh, dirt fungus.
I see him.
Thank God. My boat sank off the coast in a storm. It was unnatural. I saw colors I've never seen before. I drifted for hours on a plank. I thought I was dead.
Oh, you're gonna be fine.
Just give me a second, and I'll head back home. I'll lean on Rexus when I get tired. Halmera will be worried sick. Thank you.
Easiest quest we've done for a while. the help of Rexus the dog, you found Gulen. Can't help but notice that it has the treasure chests. And is it because I remembered from the last time I played, or are these just pre-installed?
next wound could be fatal. Another chance of perfection. Ah, a new lead. The pursuit is on. Wisdom awaits.
Memorandum of our contract. The Frostage pillagers are nearby, engaged to find relics of power in Hosen's Folly, and bring them to General Siren. Payment to be dependent upon the nature of what is found. Down payment in gold has been offered and accepted. Be sure to warn your scouts the cultists used an old Nord tomb as their worship base. These hairy bastards love to set traps in the burial mounds. Expect some flame traps or sword blades, or flaming sword blades. Expect some flame traps, or sword blades, or flaming sword blades. Cause as much trouble as you like, the more the better. We'll kill anyone you meet. Like all true heroes, Rizlav had inauspicious beginnings. We are told by chroniclers that the springtide night in the 448th year of First Era on which he was born was unseasonably cold, and that his mother, Queen Lindada died very shortly after setting eyes upon her son. If he were much more beloved but of his father, King Morris of Skingard, who had already had plenty of heirs, 3 sons and 4 daughters before him, the chroniclers make no mention of. His existence was very undistinguished, that we hear virtually nothing of him for the first 20 years of his life. His schooling, we can suppose, was similar to that of any spare prince in the Clovian West. Okay, peoples. Like I'm not reading that.
Someday you'll make something surprising with that.
Think.
That was intellectually stimulating.
You meet the new commander.
Bottoms up.
Any coinage of unusual make? Worth examining later.
Oh. Supposed to be coming out. And I can't.
Apocrypha, take you! Going to need a moment. I'm not a young man.
Watch yourself. There are bandits about.
I'm here to help you. Captain Rani sent me.
That's refreshing. Most days it's just Rana and me against the world. We have some work to do. That cursed ship is the least of our worries. Bandits are plundering the mine, looking for artifacts.
Why are they here?
They're alert, looking for something. Had to kill the one behind me before he warned the others.
How can I help?
How are you at subterfuge? I'll stay here and keep an eye on these bandits. Take the uniform from our friend here, then get down into the mine shacks and see what's going on. Grab some gear from our friend here. His kit will help you slip into the mine unnoticed.
How long have you been reported to Captain Rani?
I've been her second in command since we arrived on the island. She really is a skilled commander. This just isn't her finest day. Or mine.
Why is this place called Hausen's Folly?
I'm not entirely sure. It was named after a prospector who came out here with his family. They said they were mining for iron, but folks saw them wearing dark robes.
Dark robes? Were they cultists?
That's the story. One day there was a fire and the whole camp burned. Locals said they heard monsters roaring. The place has been boarded up ever since.